So I did some work with a huge global firm the other day, and they said, you know, we keep thinking we're going to bring these young people in and they're going to be really innovative and creative because they're young. And they're not. I mean, they are young. But they have been trained to do what they're told, to guess what's the right answer that the teacher wants, and so that's what they do. And they're infuriated. They think, well, at least they have digital skills, but they're very frustrated that they expect a greater degree of creativity from young people than they expect from themselves. And we're not delivering that. Now, you can absolutely have every sympathy for saying, yeah, but we don't get from the school system the creative people we want. I understand, but if what you could do is say, well then, it's the school's fault. Well, it is the school's fault, and I'm talking to a school on Friday about the same subject. But we have to deal with what we have. We have to deal with what we get. And we have an opportunity, if we want to lead, not follow. We have an opportunity to take the creativity that is still somewhere in these kids and bring it out and develop it. I think they do know how to think for themselves, but we have to reward them for thinking for themselves. We have to create environments in which there are multiple correct answers, not only one correct answer, and where the capacity to articulate the range of good answers is as important as getting that one which is the right one. But what I think we can't be is bystanders and say, well, yeah, it is a problem, but it's not my problem. I think it's everybody's problem. And it is interesting because I spent some time at Dublin City University a couple months ago, and they're going very heavily on what they call transversal skills, which is I think it's a fancy technical term for what we used to call soft skills, because they needed to be taken more seriously, right? And this is exactly about creativity, communication, exploration, the capacity to be good cultural translators, the capacity to learn foreign languages so that you understand what it's like to think in a different way, because the language is a way of thinking. So I think this change is coming, because I see it in lots of different institutions, just here, there, and everywhere. But I think if we want to be taken seriously as a discipline that leads itself, we need to take the lead for ourselves and not just wait until we're pushed. The other thing I'd say is the only academic article I've ever had published was in some weird magazine about epidemiology, because they wanted something non-scientific. But I've never published in an academic journal, ever. And it's not because they wanted me to, and I said no. It's just, I want to get my ideas out where people will see them. And I know, at least in the UK, nobody reads academic journals. I think the journals themselves have a lot to answer for. I think our government has a lot to answer for because they take journal publication as a marker of excellence, and I think it's the wrong marker. But, if I'm being brutally honest, how did I get to where I am? I just made it up as I went along. If you had told me, age 25, I'd be doing what I'm doing today, I would have thought you were crazy. But I just responded to need, or what I thought. I just moved to what I thought was interesting. I moved to Boston in 1994. And before that, I'd worked in television and broadcasting. And I thought broadcasting in Boston was really boring. So I ended up working in tech because I thought it was really creative, as it was. And I've always been very willing to start again at the bottom, because I think it's my life. Right? I'm only going to live once, and my life isn't for the market to decide. It's me, because I'm not going to get a second choice. So that's just my mindset. And there's a lot of stuff that informs it, but I've just never thought my job is to fit in with what companies want. My first job is to educate myself, keep educating myself, find places where what I can do is